Hi everyone and welcome. My name's Manveer. I'm Mama Bear Stitching here on YouTube and on Instagram, and this is Flosstube number 7. And yep, I did it again. I made a very delayed video. I said I was gonna try and go back to my monthly schedule, but it's almost 2 months again. This video is gonna cover everything from August 17th until October 11th. So again, almost 2 months worth of stitching and things to kind of cover. I kind of don't know where to start. I've got so much to say, and then I don't want to be talking too much, so there may be a lot of cuts in this, or I might just have to redo it again later. We'll see. I'm gonna try to do this. I'm also gonna try and rush through this a little bit because it's supposed to chuck with rain later, and I want to try and get ahead of that before it gets really dark. There's some light. We're into our rainy season now, so it's just that time of year. So oh gosh, where do we start? So a few things to just mention right off the bat. We're getting ready to celebrate 1 year of Stitches at the Library. That's going to be next week. I'll go into details and stuff later on, but a huge milestone in my opinion. It's been 1 year since we've been getting together at the library and having our local get together. So I'm super excited. I'm like really looking forward to this. This is also post Harvest Moon Hangout. So I did attend Harvest Moon Hangout. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. And this is also post my vacation. So I went away for about a week and a half to 2 weeks. And yeah, I actually did do some stitching on my vacation. There was a lot of commuting that we did. So I did a lot of stitching in the vehicles that we were like getting chauffeured around in, and I'll show that soon as well. Gosh, I'm probably gonna be umming and ahhing a lot because I quickly wrote down the notes and I quickly got things ready. I was gonna put this off yet again, but I kind of forced myself, like, no, I have to make the video. Part of the reason that I kept putting off this video is I've hit a lot of like mini milestones in my opinion in some of my stitching, and it kept making me want to hit some milestones in my other stitching before I showed it. I'm really bad with this lately. Even on my Instagram, I'm not put pictures up because the project I'm working on is not quite where I want it to be. I'm always like looking for a really good stopping point to stop and then take a picture. But what happens is even if I reach that stopping point, I'll sometimes keep stitching a little and then it's like, oh, well, I need to keep going now. So yeah, I think that was a lot of just nattering. One other thing that I want to do right off the bat is I want to give a huge thank you out to Stitching with Charlie, who mentioned me in her video, not her last video, but her one before that. And she also is a frequent commenter on the video, so thank you so much for that. I would highly recommend her videos. She's got a really great variety of stitching, and those are the kind of floss tubes that I like to watch, is people that have like a really nice variety of stuff they stitch on. She has some really nice pieces she's working on and a couple of full coverages that are like coming along really nicely. So I recommend checking out Stitching with Charlie. I'll put the name on the screen, and I'll also put the name down below in the description box. But thank you again for that. She mentioned the Bella Filipina finish I had at the time. Since I last posted, which was like August 16, I think, or August 17th, I've got one fully finished object to show, one finished object, one new start, the 4 whips that I've been working on since the beginning of the year, and then also I did work on my crochet whip. So The other thing to mention as well, the full finished object and the finished objects were also start and finishes as well. So I'll break down the dates and everything later on. That all I wanted to say for now. I think that's it for the intro. So let's start with the first item. I'll show the fully finished object. So again, this was a start and a finish. This is from the Quintessential Frisian Smalls by Modernfolk Embroidery. As you know, I'm participating in that sale that's being run by Evertote and Modernfolk Embroidery, where each month you do one of the projects, skipping December and then finishing in January. So I actually have not started the third project, which is a biscornu. I'll probably start that soon, but this was September's. So this is the Scissor Fob, and I'm stitching this on 36 count linen. It's a mystery linen from a grab bag by Forbidden Fiber Co. And I'm stitching this with Roxy Floss, sorry. I'm stitching this with Pirate and Robin Gothic Raspberry. So that's the front, and this is the back. So again, same thing as last time. There was space to chart your initials and to do the date. I messed up on this quite a bit. I really rushed it. So I started this September 9th and I fully finished the stitching the same day. There's really not that much to it. I did not, however, do the FFO part, the fully finishing, until September 19th. And that was also the first day of the Harvest Moon hangout. So my plan was to quickly watch the tutorial on how to do the cording, and while I was participating in Harvest Moon, I would stitch it up, whip stitch it all together, stuff it, do the cording, attach the cording. That was such a big mistake because I was very anxious to get on and start socializing at Harvest Moon. However, I have never done cording before, and so it took me a while to figure it out. It took me a while to figure out how to attach it and then close it, and then one of the other things I did was, you know, because I had so successfully and so stunningly finished the first small, I got a bit like overconfident doing this one. So when I stitched it in a hurry, and the back stitching along the edges, I did those too tight. I did not keep them as loose as I did the first time. So when I was trying to whip stitch it together, that was an issue. I kind of had to fight with it to like get the needle underneath and whip stitch it. Stuffing was fine, but I again was impatient, so I didn't stuff this as well as I would have liked to. It's not bad because I didn't want a very chunky scissor fob, but the corners definitely could have used a bit more attention when I was putting it in. And then the cording. So the first time I did the cording, I did it wonderfully, but I did it too short. And so I had to do it again. And the second time I did it, it was good until I put it through the needle and was trying to attach it. And at that point, it kind of loosened a little. So it's not the best, but it's okay. Yeah, again. Oh, and then the other thing I did was when I was putting it all together, I put it together upside down technically. Like it's supposed to go the other way. And then like, you see the initials and the date are upside down. Again, it's not like the biggest deal. It's like a bunch of minor little things. And again, it was because I was rushing. And also because I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing. So, you know, no big deal. This is like so tiny. I got this. So I guess like a cautionary tale of like, even when you think you got it, maybe, you know, slow down and take your time. But yeah, so we've got this one and we have this one now. So these two are done, and like I said, I'm planning on starting the third small, which is the Biscornu, probably later today if I have time, or at least by tomorrow. I recently saw Catherine from Catherine's Stitching Chronicles, her video where she had shown her start, and that kind of like motivated me to get started on it as well. And then yeah, we'll just leave that at that, and we'll talk about the rest of it later. Okay, so next thing I'll show is my finished object, which is it's the project that I took on vacation with me. So I went to England for my cousin's wedding, and during that trip we did a lot of commuting to and from London, from where my family lives to London. So it was roughly 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours, but then sometimes there was traffic. So we had to do that commute a couple of times, which gave me a lot of time to stitch. And there was some downtime in between events. With Indian weddings, there's like events every other day. But there was time in between that, and then there was at least 1 or 2 days where we weren't really doing anything. And I was just working on this kind of as everyone's chit-chatting and watching TV or something like that. So this piece is kind of really special, not only because it reminds me of, you know, stitching on it and like memories of the wedding, but then also like my cousins coming up to see how much progress I had made on it, and my aunts and uncles also coming up to see like, oh, where are you, how far are you, and like, oh, just kind of being interested. I did say that this was for my mom, but you know, she also is nagging me because she's like, you finished it, but like, when are you gonna fully finish it? So I'm talking about it, but here, I'll show it now. This is British at Heart, Quintessentially by the Primitive Hare, and this is stitched on 32 count flax by Zweigart. It's all stitched 2/2 with all the called for flosses. So there's not many colors on this. Let's do it this way. There's not many colors on this. There's the blue and the red are the fancy floss. So one of the colors is Classic Colorworks, and the other color is a Weeks Dye Works. I don't offhand know which one is which, but I can let you know if you're curious. And then the gold is a Krynic, and then the white is just B5200, I think. So it was really quick, it was really easy. It was, yeah, it was just really nice. It was easy to stitch on. There's enough there that it kept me busy. I started this on August 23rd, and I finished this August 30th. So I did finish this while I was still in England. But yeah, so just looking for a really nice backing fabric, and I'll be making this into a soft pillow finish. So again, if there's any details I'm missing, just let me know. I am kind of rushing this. I shouldn't be, but I am. So again, if I miss anything, I also might add it to the description box if I notice. If I don't notice, then yeah, once again, just let me know. The next thing I'll show is my new start. So after I finished that project, I still had, I think, 2 days left in England. And I mean, we were busy during the day because at this point the wedding was finished, and we had a couple of days where we actually stayed in London and did sightseeing. So in the evenings though, we were just relaxing in the hotel. And so I debated starting this because again, I'm trying to keep my whip count low while I kind of finish up the big whips, and then I can kind of introduce a new rotation. But I also dreaded being bored in the hotel with, I don't know, I wasn't interested in watching anything. So I started this on September 1st. And then I'm counting this as my birthday start as well, which kind of ticked that box. But this is Peacock Pin Cushion by Cottage Garden Samplings. So yeah, I started this September 1st, and then I've been working on it kind of just here and there. It's really easy to just kind of pick up and put 1 or 2 strands in, and it's not a very big project. As you can see, I've gotten a fair amount of these feathers in. There's not many left. This is stitched on the same 32 count, or yeah, this is being stitched on the same 32 count flax by Zweigart, and I'm using all the called for colors, which is mostly DMC. There is one fancy floss in here. It's a Weeks Dyeworks floss, I believe, but I haven't gotten to that part yet. It's a blue, and I think it's in the main body of the Peacock, and I'm still kind of just doing the feathers. But yeah, so this kind of satisfied that new start, the birthday new start itch, because I wanted to start something, but I was hesitant to. And then I was starting this close enough to my birthday that I just called it as my new start. I'm stitching this 2/2 if I didn't mention that yet. This is 2/2, the last one was 2/2 as well. Okay, so next we'll go into the whips. And one of the biggest reasons for a delay is this project that I'm about to show, because I got really close to like a milestone, and otherwise, like the weekend after Harvest Moon was the weekend I was planning on making a video, and this is one of the reasons I put it off for another week. Is because I was really close to kind of making a little milestone goal on this, or kind of like getting to a really good stopping point. So I'm going to show the Amazing Marie Antoinette Rose Garden Kaleidoscope by Chatelaine Designs. I'm stitching this on black Zweigart 32 count, and also the last time that I worked on this was June 4th. So I basically picked this up back in September, around mid-September, and I've been working on this pretty diligently. So I have finished all of the cross stitches inside this kind of circle. Last time I had kind of started doing like the background, but I had quite a bit left. I've done the rose now, and then I'll bring this closer because I've done the 1/1 bees and the 1/1 dragonfly that's in the corner of that, and then the bees are these in the middle. So everything is cross-stitched, but there is no back stitching yet and no specialty stitches done. That is the next thing I'm going to work on. So most of this is going to be filled in. All of this outer area gets filled in with specialty stitches. There's not too many beads. The basket, this all gets filled in with specialty stitches as well. Same with this. There are beads spread out, but I feel like these panels are mostly, especially this one, is all just like specialty stitches ringing around it. But I was so happy to get that rose in and get that like big pop of pink color. And I mean, even just looking at it in the camera, it looks so nice. There is another like little realization I had to make with this when I picked it up back in September, and that is I'm not going to finish this year. That was one of my goals. This was one of the projects that I really wanted to get done, but I think I just have to accept that it takes me longer to work on this than I think. I pick it up, but I do put it down frequently. There's just a lot of thinking required, and because it's on black, I can't stitch on it in the evening. So yeah, I mean, it's progressing. There's a lot of work that's gone into it, and so I'm not trying to put myself down in that way, but it's also yeah, it's just slower than I think I should be going, but it is looking so good, and I'm really looking forward to doing the back stitching and the specialty stitching. once that's done, I am hoping I'll get that done in the next month. I will show a full look at what this is like right now. But currently I'm just going to keep it in the Q snap right in the area that I need to focus on. Right, so it's being stitched as called for. So 2/2 mostly, except for the areas where there are items charted 1/1, like the bees and the dragonflies. And this is using all called for flosses. So the next project I'm going to show is Gojo by Juststitchcrafts. Doing this as part of the Whip into Shape sale hosted by Andrew the Runner Stitcher. And I am mostly caught up. I'm kind of waiting for the week to fully finish, and then the next week is when I start the stitching for it. So currently I'm about 200 stitches behind, and then because it's Sunday today, I'm basically at the start of the next week. So I haven't checked to see how many stitches that is, but if it's around what he's been running, it's probably going to work out to another 300 stitches. So I have a little bit of catching up to do, but it's really easy to just like put in a couple of flosses in this, because right now I am just focusing on the Hare. So this is being stitched on 32 count opal linen called Cosmo by Bee Stitch Me. It's 2/2 using DMC floss, and last time I showed it, I did show you the full picture because I had fully outlined, and then I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to jump back in, but I think I've decided to just finish up the Hare. There's a lot of stitching in the Hare, and if I can finish all the Hare, when I move my Q snap lower, I should be able to fully frame the face and the bottom collar that he has, and then just work on it without having to move it. But yeah, there is now 9,491 stitches. And last time I showed this, we were at 6,891. So again, I'm maybe about 500 stitches behind, and then we have about 2 more weeks left of the sal. After that, I'm actually going to put this away for a little bit because there's another project I'm going to kind of work on in its place. And then I'm not sure how long it's going to take, but that might be the end of it for this year. I might not work on this again after the Whip into Shape sal's finished. We'll see though. I'll talk about what I'm planning to work on later as well. But yeah, that's a lot of white stitching. I've finished another skein. So there's 2 skeins that I've gone through, and there's probably gonna take me another like 2 or 3 to finish the Hare. We are past the halfway point. There's not much left, but even after the sal is finished, it's just gonna it's gonna help me take a nice chunk out of the Hare, but there's still gonna be a lot left. Okay, so the next project I'm gonna show, we're gonna show Soul Tropica. So Soul Tropica was my birthday start from last year. So this project's now over a year old. This is by Filipina Designs, and if you've ever been in a room with me or done WIP speed dating with me, this is usually the project I'm working on just because it's light fabric and it's easier to work on in the evenings. But I have made quite a bit of progress since then. So the last time I hadn't really done too much. I picked it up for midsummer and worked on it a little, but even outside of the Harvest Moon Hangout, I've been working on this quite a bit. So this is being stitched on 32 count linen in Glacier Blue Light by Garibaldi's Needlework. And I'm stitching this 2/2 except for the skin, which is being done 1/1. So I finally finished these 2 green frauds, or palm frauds, or I'm not sure what type of leaf they are. And I kind of did a little bit more of the leaves here. I think I did a little bit up here with the same thread, but then I have been kind of focusing on the skin. So we are on the last shade of skin needed to fill in. There's a fair amount of skin, like this line that kind of looks like it's coming up, that inner part is filled in with her skin, and then obviously her arm that comes up and her hand. So I've kind of been bouncing back and forth where I'll do like maybe 2 strands of the skin, and then I'll go and pick something from around the outer edge and fill that in. I also realized, because I was kind of looking at how gappy this was, and I forgot that I hadn't stitched any of the Krynex. So there's a serious lack of sparkle in my Bella Filipina, which I feel like I need to remedy. I think that might be my reward. As I work on the skin, then I might just go back and kind of add some of the sparkly bits in. I think even her like hair has, yeah, these empty strands in her hair, there's an orange amber colored Krynex that fills it in. So I'm not sure why I hadn't done any of it, because usually I like to do it as I stitch, but I think maybe I was just kind of saving it. So I'm hoping next time you see this, the skin is finished and I will have remedied my grave error and put some of the sparkle back into the Bella Filipina. Because it definitely looks very strange without any sparkle so far. I've done a fair amount of it. I'm still hoping to get this finished by the end of the year. I think of all the WIPs that I have, this is the one that's closest to a finish. There's still a fair amount of stitching to go, but it's not that much. If I can put the work into it, then I think this could get finished by the end of the year. Another incentive is at Harvest Moon, I was in the WIP parade again, and I showed Traditional Reminiscence by Lanart, so that fancy lady that I had finished last time. So the last 2 virtual events, Lindy Stitch's virtual events, I've showed a fancy lady or a mermaid or siren, and I kind of want to finish this and then see if I can. I'm not sure if they'll do a WIP parade because they haven't done a WIP parade for Jingle Ball, but if they do a WIP parade, I kind of want to show this and make it a 3 for 3 for this year. All right, so the last WIP I have to show is Autumn is as Joyful by Lilas Studios, and this is another project that has hit its 1-year birthday. I started this last year on the first day of fall as part of Samantha the Hugo Stitcher's Sal that she had. So I did make a post on Instagram when I hit the 1-year mark. I was kind of satisfied with where I was. I didn't think I'd be picking this up much more. And then I just had 1 or 2 days where this was really kind of, I don't know, calling to me, and I really wanted to work on it. I put a lot of stitches in on those 2 days, and then afterwards I worked on this until it hit 50%. So Autumn is as Joyful by Lilas Studios. Here's where we're at, and this is now at 13,417 stitches done, which is 50.05%. So this is being stitched on 40 count linen called Vanilla Latte by Be Stitch Me, and I'm stitching this 1/2 in DMC with one specialty thread. It's a Pirate and Robin floss called Dark Copper, and I'm using that just for the letters. So the letters around here, and then also I'm going to use it for the phrase in here. So I can't remember exactly where it was the last time I showed this on Flosstube. It definitely would have been in this area here. I think I was just finishing up this page and had a little bit left to do. This would be page 3, and then page 4 hadn't been done yet. So basically everything's done on page 4. again, the way I'm doing it is if there's a motif or a medallion that crosses over a page line, I am fully finishing that. Except, as you can see here, I had some leftover thread, so I just used it here. And then after I finished everything across here is when I went back down to this side here, and I'd already finished this medallion, which is a huge part of page, I guess that would be page 5. So there's a bunch of like little motifs that go along this way. I don't know if there's any medallion that crosses over. I think there is one. The way the page layout, so it's full pages, top and bottom, and then there's about half a page or a bit of a partial page. I'm undecided on if I'm going to finish it or not because of the way I'm stitching. Sorry. Because of the way I'm stitching, there is a chance that if once I finish the motif or medallion that covers here, there might not be much left at the bottom. So I might just fully do all the way down to the bottom. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But it's looking so good. It looks so nice now that I've gotten like the corners fully done, and you can kind of see the frame of it and kind of like the borders of the project. This motif was kind of fun to work on with the owl in the middle. Like whenever you get these cool little just like images, it's always fun. There's going to be another little moth down here that I didn't get enough time to finish, but yeah. So should I say it now? I mean, I guess I should since I have it up. I was noticing all the extra fabric here. And there's a fair amount. It's 40 count as well. So you could fit a decent sized project on this part. And I was kind of thinking ahead as to what I could do on it. The thought that I had, because I want to do all the seasonal Quakers, they're all going to be using 40 count. They're all going to have a similar amount of like leftover fabric. And so I was thinking that I would find another seasonal print or pattern or something and use the scrap and do that. Because then they would, even if the colors of the design weren't similar, background fabric would kind of make it look like a collection. And as part of my birthday haul, I got the 4 seasonal words by the Cricut collection. I'll put a quick picture up because I did not bring stuff down to show for haul. I did the measurements and it would fit on the side. And that is something that I've been really wanting to do. So I'm thinking about it. I think I might do that because then obviously I want to have these up in their season and rotate them out. If I can get a nice kind of display going, probably use magnets so that it's easy to switch these pieces in and out. I think that would make a really cute collection to have the Lilas Studio Quakers with the Cricut collection seasonal words. But again, I'm just thinking about it still. We'll see. Okay, so I think that's it. Again, sorry if I forgot things. I quickly rushed to do this. I've kind of been focusing mostly on the upcoming event, plus like as per usual, just busy. This year has just been busy. So Halloween's coming up. I've got a Halloween party to get ready for. Next weekend is Stitches at the Library. You know how it is. So that's it for cross stitch whips. I am going to show my crochet whip. So weather's gotten colder and I have been looking forward to pulling this out because I did miss working on it. Another thing that happened is Bonnie, so this blanket, it's called the Celtic Throw. It's by Bonnie Bay Crochet. Another thing that happened is she released another crochet blanket and it's so cute and I want it so bad. I want to make it so bad, but I'm not going to have multiple crochet whips. So I kind of want to quickly get this done. Quickly is figurative because I work on my crochet pretty slowly actually. But I want to finish this so I can do, I think it's called cappuccino crochet throw or something. I'll put a picture here, but it's really cool. It's like the coffee cup at the bottom, and the steam that comes out of it is done in like a weave pattern. I've watched the video already of how she's doing it. It's a lot of new things for me because this one's gonna have color changes, which I have never done so far. I've not done color changes. And I think it's essentially kind of like the mosaic crochet blankets, because it kind of has like a cross stitch pattern at the bottom where the cup is. So again, a lot of new things I am interested in learning, but we're going to try and get through this first. Last time I showed this, I had just started the weave pattern at the top. This is, I think, like the Celtic weave of the blanket. So I had just started that. I am now finished that part. Let's pull it up. There's a lot of blanket now. Okay, yes, so it was basically this weave. I think I had only done 2 or 3 of the rows. There are 11 rows total of this. So it was easy and fun to work on, but I have made mistakes on this. And I think you can see it right here where I missed 2 stitches. So it kind of interrupted the weave pattern. I'm missing 2 stitches. I didn't catch this till I was way up here, and I did not want to rip it out and do it again because I'd already ripped out and done this, I think 2 or 3 times. So I brought this out. My cousin would sometimes come over once a week just to, like, you know, chit chat, catch up, watch TV and stuff. And I would take this out thinking that this is easy to do. I can work on it and still have a conversation. Both times he came over, I made a mistake and had to rip it out. So the first time he came was also the first day I picked this back up. So I had to refamiliarize myself with what I was doing, where I was, and go from there. Everything I stitched while he was there and we were chit-chatting and distracted, I ended up having to rip out. So at the end of the night, I ripped it all out and kind of just left it, thinking I'll work on it again another day and just catch it up. Like 2 days later, I was like, okay, let's try and get my progress back. I restitched everything I had done, plus a little bit extra. And then I was kind of looking at it and realized it was wrong again. And I realized I had flipped. You do front post and back post crochets, and I had switched the front post and the back post. So I had to rip that all out and do it again. And the third time I did it right. But the third time I did it was also when I realized way down here there was a mistake. And we're just gonna live with it. It's on the side, which is why I'm okay with just leaving it as is. So the second time that he came over after a few more weeks, again, I pulled this out because this time I knew what I was doing and I knew exactly where to start. So again, I worked on it. He left, and at the end of the night, I was looking at what I was doing and realized that somewhere in the middle, I had again missed 2 stitches. I had missed the weave again, which is hard to do. And that just goes to show how distracted I was when we were like talking. I can't do this and talk at the same time. So again, I had to rip that. I had ripped it back out until I got to my mistake, and then I fixed it. And then I've just fully finished it. And now I'm on the row that basically disengages from this stitch. And then you go back to, you can go back to the other weaves. So I'll just kind of open it up. This is getting pretty big now. That's what we're looking like now with all my basket weave, diamond stitch, arrow stitch, popcorn stitch. So as well, I think now this is the point. After this, we're basically going to repeat everything down here again. So after that is done, after this whole repeat is done, on the other side, there's a border that goes around, and we are done with this blanket. So there's still quite a bit of work to do. One of the things that slows me down a lot on this is that I get really bad elbow pain when I work on this, and I don't feel like I'm working on it that long. Maybe I am. Usually I can do one row, maybe 1.5 row, and then I'll kind of start feeling like a pain in my elbow. So I don't know if it's just the way I'm doing it, if that's just the way it is. I could cross stitch forever and I usually don't have any pain. I mean, like my Q snaps, my 11 by 11 Q snaps, I hold those in my hand all the time and I've never had pain like that before. So I think that's kind of what's slowing me down on my crochet project, is like when I'm sitting and working on it, I kind of just want to work on it and I can't. I have to put it down and take more breaks or kind of stop working on it for a day or two. But yeah, that might be something I ask the ladies at the library if they have any tips or tricks, or if you know anything that can help, or if you know, do you think I'm just like holding it wrong? Is there, I don't know. I'm like a beginner, I'm self-taught, so I don't know if there was like a proper way to really be doing it. I've just kind of been doing it in a way that works for me. So if you know if there's any like things you can do to kind of help with the elbow pain, that would be much appreciated. One of the things I forgot to mention is the blanket is being stitched with a Lion brand Pound of Love yarn in the colorway Quartz. And that's it for WIPs. This is gonna be kind of a shitty video, sucky video, sorry. Because I'm umming and ahhing a lot. Like even I'm annoyed with myself. It's gonna get uploaded as is though. So let's see, the last few things to talk about. So once again, I'm gonna mention Stitches at the Library. Stitches at the Library is gonna have its 1 year anniversary. It was October 19th last year when I did the first meetup. And a little story time, the event at the library, very first Stitches at the Library, I'd put it out on my Instagram, let the few people that I knew and had met up with previously, Erica had hosted some events, so I had met a few people that way. I'd let them know that I'm gonna do this event at the library. As we're getting closer to the day, the weather's getting really bad. It's raining a lot, and it looks like on the day of our meetup is supposed to be the atmospheric river. And atmospheric river is a really fancy term that they like toss around nowadays, just to say that the amount of water, I think it's the amount of water that's gonna fall within like a day or two or however long it's gonna last, is the equivalent of like the flow of a river or something. I don't know, maybe let's like go on Wikipedia and show you the thing. But long story short, there was a lot of rain that morning, and the entire, like the night before, the morning of, I'm like, no one's gonna show up because the weather's so bad. I remember leaving extra early to make my way to the library. It's about a half an hour drive from me, and I went slow. There was a lot of rain, but thankfully, because it was so bad, most people did not leave their house, which was the smart thing to do. So it wasn't that bad driving, but yeah, so that was the beginning, that was the origin story of Stitches at the Library. Is we had this event, there was a lot of people interested in coming, and then we had the worst weather. But I mean, we still had a few people come out. It was still really successful in my opinion. So yeah, I'm just kind of, I don't know, like blown away. Like it's been a year. I can't believe it. It feels like it was just a couple of months ago that I was like, oh, let's see how many local stitchers we have and how many people we can get together for this thing. And we're a year later, we're getting bigger and bigger as we go, as more people find out. I think our largest group size so far has been about like 11 people. So yeah, I mean, kind of like, again, like I'm still kind of in awe that it's been 1 year since we've been doing it. I've got the next few dates already planned out. I will only put the coming months. I haven't made the graphic or anything for the following days like I did for summer. But definitely follow my Instagram if you're interested in checking this out, because I will always post on there the dates. And then if you come to the meetings, the Stitchers at the Library meetings, I usually let everyone know all the dates that I've booked ahead of time. Also, one thing to show, I am going to be doing a little raffle for the people that come on the 19th for Stitchers at the Library, just to kind of show my appreciation. And one of the items I'm raffling is this bag with a little bit of a goodie inside. I didn't want to say anything until I knew I had received the items because, you know, Canada Post was on strike. But there is some little goodies in here. I have something that I'm planning on giving everyone, but then just like a special little raffle that I want to do, because again, like even though I'm organizing the Stitchers at the Library, everyone that's coming is what's making it what it is, and I just want to show my appreciation as well. Okay, I think that's enough about Stitchers at the Library. I've got the graphic up. It'll show the date, the time. Just make note of the room number. We're going to be in a different room. This is actually going to be happening for the next couple of meetups where we kind of go to different rooms. Availability's kind of been changing, and then I've been trying to get the cheaper room. And then I'm also, because I've been booking more dates ahead of time, that's kind of changed what's been available. So whenever you are looking, just make sure you double check the room number. The timing is almost always the same. I think there is going to be a meeting coming up, I can't remember when, where the start time is the same, but it's actually ending, I think, half an hour earlier, just because someone had booked a time slot after us. All right, I think we should start wrapping it up. Last couple of things to say. I'm excited for Jingle Ball. The classes are up. I've been eyeing them. There's 2 classes that I kind of am interested in taking. One for sure, the other one I'm on the fence about, but I am looking forward to Jingle Ball. Yeah, I did get a lot of haul. Like I said, last month in September was my birthday and I did treat myself. I'm not really gonna show it. I don't know, I don't know. I just didn't really feel like bringing it down, especially when I have no plans on when I want to be stitching any of it. It was mostly, it was the 4 patterns from the Cricut collection, and then I got some fabric, and I did get 1 kit, but again, I don't have any plans. And then I have, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I think that's it. Upcoming plans, working on what I have. The Gojo one. So yeah, I think after WIP into shape is done, the Gojo pattern is going to be just put away temporarily while I work on something else instead. I've already worked on this pattern for someone else, but I'm actually going to do it again and make it for my cousin who had a baby boy earlier this year. It's a baby Mickey pattern where he's sitting in a moon, and it's a lot of block stitching, so I didn't want to have 2 projects on the go with block stitching. Again, it'll depend on how fast I finish it, but I'm planning on putting the Gojo project away until I can finish this new piece. And then if there's time, maybe I'll bring it out before the end of the year. If not, this or the next time you see it is probably going to be the last time until the next year. And Frisian Small, the Biscornu, I'll be starting that in the next couple of days. I was also thinking of getting a jump start on November's Small, which is a pinwheel or pinwheel pincushion. Just because I want to free up some space and time so I can focus on the Christmas stitching for Jingle Ball. I think one of the classes I am definitely going to take is the Countdown to Christmas. I am, like, mentally, I've been obsessed with that. I just keep thinking about that project, which means I'm probably going to take that class. And even though it's not a lot of stitching, I don't want to, like, kind of overwhelm myself with too many smalls. So yeah, I'm going to get a jump start on the stitching for it, but I'll leave the full finishing until November because that's not that much. It's like a 1-day thing. All right, I think that's going to do it for that. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for all the comments and everyone who's subscribed. Yeah, this was another interesting video. We did it though. I will try and go back to my monthly scheduled program. I'm gonna try, but I'm really bad with just stopping and showing the stitching because I just want to keep stitching. So we'll see. But yeah, thank you everyone again, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.